Alright, so how do we find this side length here, x? So if you have a right triangle and you're looking for a side length, think to use the Pythagorean theorem first. Now that only works if you know two of the sides, and we only know this side. So when you know one side, and you're trying to find a second side, you need to use like either SOH CAH TOA or special right triangles. Now since this angle is in 60, 30, or 45, it's not special, so we have to use SOH CAH TOA. So now how do we know which one to use, sine, cosine, or tangent? So you got to pick an angle first. Alright, we'll do it both ways. First we'll use this angle that's 58 degrees. But you could also use this angle here that's 32 degrees, and we'll show you how to do that in a second. Alright, so based off this angle here being 58 degrees, this is the opposite leg to 58, and you're looking for the adjacent leg. So since you're given the opposite and looking for the adjacent, we're going to use tangent. Alright, this is the hypotenuse. So if we were using the hypotenuse, you would use sine or cosine. Oops. SOH CAH TOA. That should be an AH. But we don't need to find the hypotenuse or use it because we don't know it. So we're not going to use sine or cosine. So now that we know we have to use tangent, we'll say, alright, the tangent of 58 is equal to opposite 22 over adjacent x. Alright, then we could cross multiply, put that over 1, and we get 22 equals x times the tangent of 58. And then to get x alone, we could divide both sides by the tangent of 58. Remember, that's just a number, the tangent of 58. It's the ratio of the opposite leg over the adjacent leg in any 58, 32, 90 triangle. So now you can type that in our calculator. So I'm going to do that on my handheld. 22 divided by the tangent of 58. Make sure your calculator is in degrees. And if it is, you get 13.7. So that's the length of x right there. Alright, now how would we do it using the other angle? So the other angle being this acute angle right here, which is 32 degrees. And again, you could use 32 or 58. But notice how when we did the tangent of 58, it was equal to 22 over x, because the opposite leg to 58 was 22 and the adjacent one was x. If we're looking at 32, now the opposite leg to 32 is x, and the adjacent leg would be 22. So since tangent, TOA, right, tangent's equal to opposite over adjacent, the tangent of 32 would be x over 22. So now when we cross multiply, instead of like dividing 22 by tangent of 32, we're going to multiply the tangent of 32. So do that first, then multiply it by 22, and we get the same answer. If I type in the tangent of 32 times 22 in my calculator, I also get x is 13.7. Alright, and that should make sense because either way, it's referring to the same side, which has to be the same length no matter what. So just pick either acute angle, in this case 32 or 58, it doesn't matter, but make sure like whatever angle you pick, you identify the opposite and the adjacent leg correctly.